After many moons, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are that much more real. Today, obviously, Pokemon presents big trailer, lots of details, gimmicks, open world, rideable, legendaries, and more. I've got Joseph here. We are going to dish on exactly what went down, the details, the deeper stuff that wasn't shown, but now we know, and where this puts us. Because I feel like the rollout of this is unique, different. I touched on it earlier on Good Morning Mario that, it seems like they're trying a more reserved, secretive approach. And let me know if you guys like that in the comments. But Joseph, how do you like that? How do you feel about this reveal that maybe didn't go the way that we were predicting?
Definitely interesting, Zach. I mean, we've been covering the leaks as they've been coming out, especially in the past couple of weeks. We've learned so much about this game that we were almost positive that we knew everything that was going to be shown in this trailer. And somehow Game Freak showed us a lot and somehow still surprised us with Pokemon that we didn't know existed, mechanics we didn't know existed, and just a lot of stuff that it was really confusing, but kind of exciting. I think it's a cool approach for them to be so reserved, but also still bring surprises to the table. It's really different. So I honestly, I'm happy about it.
And if you want even more in-depth Pokemon discussion, we do a podcast every week, Scarlet Fever. Come get a little hot and bothered with us on Sunday, and we have a long show about everything in full detail. I think the initial response was we didn't really see a whole lot. There wasn't anything brand spanking new, and I have to imagine this is colored by the leaks that are already out there and expecting that information, not getting all of it. But I will say that I think my gut reaction was oh my gosh, this looks so much better. Mm-hmm. And I think people are maybe not giving enough credit to the fact that guys, we just got open world Pokemon. This is a new thing. This isn't don't take it for granted, because I think that is something that shines in this trailer, regardless of, paradox forms, past, future, terrestrialization, any of that. It's this is the biggest Pokemon's ever been. This is the most fleshed out it's ever been. And for me, that just came through in spades, in the level of detail and the interiors, the variety of the terrain, the exteriors. And again, the fact that 4 people can follow 3 different storylines, however they see, let's not forget what the main gimmick of this game is, which is open world co-op.
Yeah. And honestly, if there's anything this trailer did for us, and us in particular especially, it showed that it's not half-baked. The multiplayer thing isn't just something that they throw in. It really is an open world adventure game. They have 3 separate stories to make sure that even if we are playing in to have even the idea to separate the gym challenge, which has obviously been a staple, while also introducing these 2 new stories that, obviously we don't know really much about it, but we've seen screenshots, we've seen little moments.
We've seen the battle bus. Come on. We know it's about the battle bus.
They're gonna have a Fortnite battle royale mode, I'm sure. It's just it's things like that I think made this trailer great for me personally, where it's I don't know how they did it. I would have never imagined that, knowing everything that we know, there would still be things that are shown. I think that's my major takeaway for this trailer, was just they somehow found a way to avoid the leaks that we already know for the most part, while also introducing things that have not been touched. And I don't know if that's on the part of the leakers leaving some things out so that we can still be excited when it's shown, or if it's just Game Freak is very calculated with the way they're showing things. And I think that's, to me, I think it shows more love and care for what they're doing, because they know what to lead out the game with. They know what to show. They know what to hold. And this reservation that we're seeing from them is something that we have not seen in a long time. Pokemon trailers have really gotten into the habit of showing everything. This is something that's been so exciting, and I think that's why the leaks are reflecting that. We've never had leaks like this either, where so much has come out. So I think the way they're handling it is also just super telling of where they're headed with this direction, this whole new outlook on what Pokemon is. I don't know how you can't be excited watching this. I think you're absolutely right. This is open world Pokemon.
Some people are not excited, so we are going to get to the dumb decisions of this trailer. We'll get that out of the way so we can appease those who just want to hate. I did want to quickly say that I think the leaks ended up working out great, because it's great on both sides. The leaks are great because we know there's more coming, and then the leaks are great because we got surprises, and then we also have that stuff later. So, like, however you look at it, somehow they finesse these leaks perfectly. Like, the stuff that they were going to reveal, like, I don't know how that happened. You know, we're in a simulation or something, because that worked out perfectly. Fido,
Complete
not
net
shown.
positive.
Yeah, I mean, I would say even the terraforms, which is hilarious that it's terraforms, but anyhow.
Yeah.
The way that happened,
words.
the way that happened, I think, is even maybe better than we expected. I know some people are down on it, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's first get the dumb stuff out of the way. You pointed out one that you thought was the biggest sort of, you know, mistake, and why don't you share that with us?
Well, which one in particular? Because I do have a couple in my mind. But
okay, all right. There's the game's terrible. Let's just make a decision now. It's terrible.
There you go. We're gonna more than appease the haters. We're gonna join them.
Yep. We choose Pokemon violence. Go ahead.
That sounds like this is so off topic, but did you, when Pokemon Black and White came out, PETA made like a Pokemon Black and Blue version, and it was like a playable. Yeah, that's what that just gave me vibes of. That's very very on brand for that. Number one, I guess, like, the first takeaway, which I think a lot of people are probably looking at, is Koraidon and the I guess lack of using its wheels, which is definitely a thing. I don't think it's a big deal, genuinely, but I did just want to kind of cover that one real quick, because I do think a lot of people think it's, I guess people are holding it to a negative that's like not as important as people say it is. Like, I think the fact that this thing has a wheel on it is a little goofy, but the animation looks incredible. Two wheels, sorry. Yeah. It 100% could ride on itself, but I do think it's a pretty interesting design decision to have it just straight up swim and run on, you know, all fours. But I think, again, like, the animation works super well. The design itself is incredible. And yeah, I just wanted to cover that one first. No, but in all seriousness, the big thing and the misstep that I think is completely unforgivable is the gyms. I don't know why they didn't make them scalable. To me, that just, and they're really just like doubling down on that. The fact that these gyms are 100%, you can tackle them in whatever order you want, but they don't scale to you. It's a very weird decision. And I guess you made the comment before that it is kind of like, I guess, a difficulty, a built-in hard mode, if you want it to be. But that doesn't read as challenging to me. That just seems more like masochistic. If I go to the 8th gym, I'm going to fight a trainer that has level 50 Pokemon, and I'm just having my Sprigatito get absolutely washed by these things. Like, it's very weird. I don't know that decision I can back up, at least.
It's definitely interesting. I wonder if it does create some more longevity. Like, you know, eventually, can you find the perfect team to be able to tackle the gyms? You know, like, will someone, you know, make like a Mega Man run where they're like, we're going to go, you have to do 6 and 7 before 8 because, you know, you got to get that, but we'll go 6, 7, 3, 2, you know, like, they'll make up some unique order. Is there more replayability there? And also, we have praised games like Breath of the Wild for showing us the final fight before we have any means of, you know, really defeating it, but you could try it. I think that might be nifty. I also think that the location is going to play a bit of a gating. Like, I don't think you're going to be able to just walk into the 8th gym. I can't imagine that, you know, from Go. But you're right. It would have made more sense if they scale. I think, for me, the thing that covers that up a bit is, like, we have 3 storylines. And I want to just really emphasize how cool that is. We've played how many Pokemon games where there is one central story? Now, I hope Nintendo and Game Freak are being genuine. I hope there's 3 big storylines. I hope it's not like story 1 is that the school is holding a mystery, and story 2 is the gyms, and story 3 is the evil team. Like, I hope they're not being that goofy. We kind of looked at the website and said, story 1 is the gyms, story 2 is this strange battle bus thing, which could be tied to the bad team, and then story 3 seems to be the Terra Crystals. So I hope that they have enough stuff there to really generate 3 major through lines. And I wonder, Joseph, if one is tied to battling, one is tied to exploring, and one is tied to Pokemon catching. I wonder if, sort of similar to how Legends kind of, maybe mixed with the formula, I wonder if they are really going to have, RPGs love to do this, right? Especially open world. A battle path, a training path, and a exploration path.
It's really cool that you say that, because they, early on when the leak came out that jobs were kind of a thing in this region, or looked at as a little bit more important, it did kind of give more of a RPG vibe, more of a traditional JRPG vibe, where it's like, okay, jobs are something that was inherently built into the franchise, not Pokemon in particular, but like into RPGs as a whole. So it's like, if this is that, if it's handled where, like you said, each through line has a, an aspect of the game, that would be a dream come true, because it would find a way to highlight, I guess, the parts that make it stand out, right? And it gives you enough time to kind of marinate in it. So, maybe for those people who prefer traveling around this open world, they're maybe not as much into the like the battling aspect. Obviously it's Pokemon, so there's going to be some, hopefully you like battling, but going through the gym challenge, I think could offer a different outlook on what it is to do the challenge compared to other games, because in other games you were forced to do it. You're forced to battle the 8 gyms. If you wanted to further any story, you had to battle the gym leaders. There was no alternate path. If they are being genuine in the way it's handled, and there are, like you said, these different paths that maybe require different things from you, I can't imagine that wouldn't work fantastically. I think being able to talk to your friends and be like, well, which path was your favorite, already out the gate is something that Pokemon could really use, is these different ways to complete the game. And I mean, I've talked about it before. I think, they should have always had the ability for you to either be a professor or a contest, like the beauty contest Pokemon trainers. Like, I think the world is already built that not everyone battles Pokemon. Pokemon are, integral to the world, but not everybody uses them for battling. So if these 3 stories find a way to utilize your Pokemon in interesting and different ways, I mean, that's even more of a plus. Even if there is battling in all 3, I don't think that takes away from it, as long as the focus for all 3 are varied enough. And it looks like they may be, because again, that battle bus does nothing for us. Like, it does nothing to show us.
It's driving by itself. There's no driver. We don't even know what's going on. My sort of random prediction with that is, like, maybe the evil team does drive that around and like pull up on you at random moments and be like, we're here to battle you or something. So it could be maybe in that way. But I think what you said at the start of, like, this is they committed, it's not half baked, they fully went for it, is evident. Like, such diversity in the trainers, the best trainer outfits we've seen. We don't know what Plushy Pocket guy is. What kind of trainer is that? We don't know what graffiti guy is. We don't know what if the lady with the black hair, if she's a trainer or a gym leader, an NPC. If you're going to do an open world, you got to make sure that there's a level of detail that Pokemon's never seen, a level of variety that Pokemon's never seen. And it's hard for me to think of how this game goes sour, because they have committed to it being the biggest Pokemon ever. And I think whatever you think about terrestrialization or whatever you think about, Paldea, as long as they have a solid end game, as long as it, looks as pretty as it looks in the trailers, this is going to be the culmination of years and years of Pokemon growth. This is going to be truly the home console entry we've been waiting for.
Yeah, it's impossible to not get that vibe from it. And I think for me, that's what this trailer did for me. It really doubled down that this is what Pokemon has always been leading to. This is the moment that we've been waiting for. And yes, there are some decisions that maybe we don't completely agree with, but the vision is there. The vision has been, I mean, this was meticulously made. It may not be what everybody wants, because, people look at Pokemon and they're like, it's a multi-billion-dollar franchise. Like, please, make the most expensive game ever. But at the end of the day, the games are trying to be fun. The games are trying to stay within what they do and what they do well. And this looks like it is doing everything that Pokemon has done previously, but better. There is no way that anybody can argue that this is going to be a bad Pokemon game. I don't think, even if you're talking about how complicated it's getting with all these new terms, it doesn't take away that from the fact that these are mechanics being added because they are fun. You know, they're not just like throwing in weird lore things for no reason. Like, these are things that are growing the world and allowing players to experiment in more interesting ways. And especially now that it's open world and full co-op, it's like, the more there is to do, the better it is for the longevity of the game, the better it is for the world. It's not going to feel empty like Pokemon has in the past when you beat a game and there's no reason to go around. Now, if you want to race from one end to the map to the other with your friend just to do it, you can do that. That's not even part of the game really, but it is. It's what the game can do. And I think that's why this game is going to be so interesting, because there's going to be so many options that there's no wrong way to play it. And Pokemon has never really had that. I mean, even in the moments where they show just the friends in town walking around together, they show like kind of a camera mode where they're taking like a selfie. Moments like that make me feel like a kid again when I'm seeing, Pokemon running around in the town. Like that's what Pokemon has always been trying to be. And I have to commend Game Freak and the Pokemon Company and Nintendo for really finally putting their best foot forward and saying, you know what, we don't owe it to like the fans really. We just owe it to the franchise itself to finally fully realize it. And this is a step in the right direction. I'm sorry. Like I don't even think it's up for argument. This is fantastic. I'm very excited about this.
Look at the concessions that Game Freak has made to their typical formula, right? They're going to give us the legendaries early because it helps the game design. Mm-hmm. They're going to change up and vary the trainer types because it helps the game design. They are going to allow the gyms to be accessed in any order because it helps the game design. Even for the raid battles, they're having simultaneous turns because it helps the game design. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really critical to note. Like, yeah, you can look at the nuances of, okay, Fido has the same color scheme as, Yamper. Bleh. You can look and say, oh, they don't have enough different outfits and uniforms because they're students. But look at what Pokemon and Game Freak have done and what they've accepted, what they've allowed, what they've changed. And I think that tells you, like, okay, they were really serious about making this phenomenal, about making this a true culmination. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they were willing to give on some things that previously they haven't given on, I think that speaks to how much fun this is going to end up being.
Completely agree. I genuinely couldn't agree more. I think this game is built from the ground up to be fun. And it's so evident in every way. So people can look at it as not their Pokemon or seeing it stray from like what it was. But I think that's the point, right? That the point is to push it in a direction. It doesn't touch the old games. You can still play Heart Gold, Soul Silver. You can still play X and Y. You can play whatever you want. This is allowing people to experience Pokemon in a brand new way, in a way that's still familiar, but also there's just so many quality of life changes that, again, I think the main goal is, can we get people who aren't Pokemon fans to love Pokemon games? And this is the game to do it. This is going to be the closest game to that, to be able to bridge. And that's something that Game Freak has always said that they wanted to do, bridge the diehard fan base to the mainstream gamers. They wanted to be able to find kind of a way to get everybody involved. This is the way to do it, right? You're using open world games, which are probably the most popular type of game at this point, to the point where like almost every game is open world, but it makes sense for Pokemon. It always has. If there was any game that should have been open world from the start,
it's Pokemon, right?
It's Pokemon. And
now here
That's the whole point, is going on that world. And here it is, exactly. So I personally, Zach, I think this trailer has done way more good than I could have even imagined. It wasn't even like what I guessed it was going to be. I'm so excited. Even the Pokemon trainer that we kind of like, we made jokes about, the one who is, I guess, your rival, when the leak came out, the girl with the, I don't know, she looked kind of just regular.
She's got the Eevee backpack
seeing her in the
man.
trailer. The Eevee backpack, that changed everything for me. I just think everything's at an all-time high. The graphics are the best they've ever looked. The character designs are the best they've ever looked. The Pokemon, I'm sorry, still every new one is a hit for me. I think they're all, aside from, again, the Yamper color scheme being used again, the designs themselves have all been a hit for me. I think this is I struggle to find a negative. I really do. Other than the gym thing, and even then, I am still trying to trust Game Freak on it because
that they know what's up.
It almost seems too much of a bad decision where it's like this had to have been deliberately made, and
right.
That makes me more excited because it's like why is it this way, and we won't know until we play. But I think it's fun. I think it looks fun, and I can't help but just think that this is going to be the best Pokemon game by far.
I agree. I think, at first blush, the trailer wasn't what we expected it to be, so maybe there was some sour feelings, but if you take it as a whole, you take it for what it means. I'm posting this right now. You can check out this picture. The fourth storyline, Tiny Don. This is a really breaking moment here. So this is going to be one of the best Pokemon games, maybe the best ever. Who knows what's next? Who knows if they show anything else? We'll have to wait and see. But we'll see you on Scarlet Fever. Make sure to check out the podcast. Hit that like button if you're excited. And if you have big complaints, let us know. I think we definitely want to do our due diligence to hear what people don't like. So feel free to post that. But we're both high on this. We're obviously in 100 million%. And so it should be an exciting fall. In the meantime, though, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. SwitchForce out.